Hello and welcome to the College Investor Audio Show. Today's topic. So, you may have heard the quote from Ben Franklin: there are two things certain in this life, death and taxes. And when you go to college, there's another thing you encounter: group projects. I added that whole thing about group projects. Ben Franklin did not talk about college group projects, but it's true. Certain. You're going to face group work and group projects. So, today we talk about how to make these projects successful. Very practical topic for today. Before we get to it, though, I want to remind you to hit the subscribe button on the podcast. You can share anything you find helpful with anybody. We would greatly appreciate it. You can also get to know us. We'd love to get to know you and answer your questions and help you along in your journey. You can follow us or like us or at us. I don't know, whatever you kids do these days. We're all over social media. Just search for The College Investor and you'll find us. And we're at thecollegeinvestor.com. You can dive in deep on any topic you hear during the show. All right, so one thing you're certain to encounter in college: group projects. Some people love them. Others dread them, and the challenge of coordinating and communicating with classmates. And the lazy ones that don't do anything and just show up for the presentation. You know that happens. And while many might warn you to prepare yourself for uneven workloads, unclear expectations, and endless group chat notifications, oh man, it's really not all bad. Group projects don't have to feel like a chore. In fact, they can actually create opportunities to learn essential skills like collaboration, leadership, and problem solving. You're going to have to do this when you grow up. So, the secret to success lies in preparation, communication, and strategic planning. With the right approach, group work can be a rewarding experience for everyone involved and a chance to deliver results that are better than what you might have achieved on your own. Listen up. Here's the step-by-step guide to making your next group project a complete and rousing success. First, the challenges of group work. Where group work often falters is really because of structural challenges and interpersonal differences, right? It's not uncommon to see uneven contributions among group members, with one or two carrying most of the workload while others resolve to passive involvement. Add in missed deadlines, unclear roles, and communication breakdowns, and it's easy to see why group work gets a bad reputation. However, these issues aren't inevitable, and they certainly aren't insurmountable. Many of the challenges arise because groups jump into a project without a clear plan. By setting group expectations, dividing responsibilities, and using tools to stay organized, you can minimize your frustrations and maximize the team's potential. Start with clear goals and ground rules. The foundation of a successful group project is just a shared understanding of what you're working toward and then how you're going to get there. So, number one, align on objectives. Before diving into any work at all, make sure everyone is on the same page about the project's goals. What does success look like? What are the most important deliverables? Then taking the time to bring extreme clarity to these questions, it just helps ensure that everyone works toward the same end result. Number two, define your roles. Assigning roles can prevent confusion and also help the group operate more efficiently. So, for example, you might have one person focus on research, another on writing, and a third on editing or visuals. Choosing roles based on individual strengths and preferences just makes the workload feel more manageable. Number three, set all the ground rules. Establish guidelines for communication, deadlines, and meeting attendance. Decide how you'll communicate. Things like group chats, email, or shared documents, and how often you're going to check in. Will you meet weekly or only when necessary? Setting expectations right up front is going to help prevent misunderstandings later. Break the project into manageable pieces. This is huge. Large projects can feel very overwhelming at first, but if you break them up into smaller tasks, it just makes them more approachable. So create a detailed plan. That's first. Divide the project into clear phases: brainstorming session, research, and then drafting and final review. Set deadlines for all the phases to keep the team on track. Number two, assign specific tasks. This is huge. I need this. I need to be tell me what to do, and I'll do it. Within each phase, assign individual tasks to team members. For instance, one person might handle gathering all the research. I'm pretty good at that. While another drafts an outline. I'm not very good at that. The organization part freaks me out. Giving everyone specific responsibilities ensures accountability and prevents duplication of effort. Number 3, anticipate challenges. Life happens, all right? And unexpected setbacks can completely derail even the best laid out plans. So build in extra time to handle delays and have a backup plan if someone falls behind. It could be of no fault of their own, right? You might also consider using one of these calendar apps that we have to keep the group on track. You can check out tons of calendar app resources at thecollegeinvestor.com right inside this article. Okay, the next topic we'll talk about is using technology to stay organized, something I didn't really have when I was in college. But digital tools can simplify group work by making it easier to communicate, share all the documents you need, and tracking your progress. Number 1, pick a collaboration platform. Google Workspace can be one, and tools like it are invaluable for creating shared documents, spreadsheets, and slides. Everyone can contribute in real time, and the automatic saving feature, you're just not going to lose your work. Number 2, project management apps like Trello, Asana, or Notion. All of those are great for organizing tasks and deadlines. These platforms allow you to create to-do lists, assign tasks, and monitor progress at a glance. You can take it even a step further and invite other group members to join so you can collaborate on projects simultaneously. Then number 3, communication tools. Email is fine for some communication, but group chats like Slack, GroupMe, or even WhatsApp are often faster and more efficient. Just be mindful of notification fatigue and use these tools thoughtfully to avoid overwhelming your team. Handle conflict constructively, too. Conflicts are just a natural part of group work, but they don't have to derail your project. When handled well, they can even strengthen your team. Number 1, they address issues early on. If someone isn't meeting expectations or there's a disagreement about the project, don't wait for the problem to escalate. Bring up concerns in a respectful and solution-focused way. 2, stay focused on solutions. Rather than assigning blame, try to find ways to help the group move forward. For example, if someone is behind on their tasks, brainstorm actions that will help them balance this project with other assignments on their plate. Or consider redistributing the project workload to keep things moving along. Number 3, communicate respectfully. Use I statements to express your perspective without sounding accusatory. So, for instance, I'm concerned about meeting the deadline if we don't complete the draft soon, is more constructive than, you aren't helping me meet the deadline. Come on, people. Make meetings matter is a huge topic we're going to talk about here. Group meetings can either be productive or a complete waste of time, depending on how they're run, right? So follow these steps to ensure group meetings keep the project moving along. Number 1, set an agenda. Before each meeting, just kind of outline what you need to accomplish. Share this agenda with your team in advance so everybody comes prepared to discuss those specific items. Number 2, stay focused. Stick to the agenda and avoid going off on tangents. So easy to do. You can even assign a timekeeper to ensure the meeting doesn't run longer than necessary. Number 3, end with clear action items. Before you wrap up, review what was decided and who is responsible for each next step. This ensures everybody knows their role and what's expected before the next meeting. And then practice, practice, practice. If your group project includes a presentation, preparation is key to delivering a polished performance. Number 1, rehearse it. As a team, just run through the presentation at least twice as a group. This is going to help build confidence, create natural transitions between speakers, and identify any weak points in the discussion. Number 2, check your timing. Make sure your presentation fits within any time limits you might have. So practicing multiple times can help you kind of fine-tune your pacing. And number 3, prepare for questions. Anticipate potential questions from your instructor or even the audience and decide who will answer them. Having a plan prevents the need to think through answers on the fly, and it ultimately just makes your team look more professional. And then go back and reflect on your experience. Once the project is completely done, take some time to reflect and maybe even celebrate on the experience. Focus on the wins is the first thing. Was the main goal achieved? Did maybe you actually learn something from this experience that can be applied elsewhere? So identifying what worked can help you replicate success in future projects. Number 2, areas to improve. Were there any challenges that slowed your progress? What would you have done differently? Thinking critically about your experience can help you handle similar situations more effectively next time. And then number 3, celebrate. Maybe it's a group dinner, a high five in class, a quick thank you message in the group chat acknowledging your team's hard work. This just fosters goodwill and ends the project on a positive note, and it's just what good leaders do. The benefits of group work. When approached thoughtfully, group projects don't have to be a dread. They can just be valuable learning experiences. They teach skills like time management, communication, and teamwork, traits that are essential to any career. It's easy to focus on the frustrations of group work for sure, but reframing your mindset can help you see it as an opportunity for growth, connection, and share learning. At its best, group work isn't just about completing an assignment. It's about learning how to collaborate effectively and adapt to challenges. As it turns out, these skills are going to serve you long after the project is over, making your effort and engagement worth far more than it feels like in the moment, right? I hope that was a helpful podcast for today. That's our show. But if you want to check out the resources I mentioned about calendar apps and all the collaboration tools you can use, you can find all of that stuff at thecollegeinvestor.com. Thanks again for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.